today's episode of Cigarreel. We're doing our last episode of the season 2 finale before we kick off season 3 next year. That's going to be on today's episode of Cigarreel. Good day, y'all. Welcome to Cigarreel, season 2 finale, the last video for the season 2 finale. Before we get into that episode, make sure you comment down below on what cigar you're smoking, and also don't forget to follow me on my social media platform, which is Cigarreel, and don't forget to hit my Cash App, which is Cigarreel, $Cigarreel MM. In today's episode, the last video of the season 2 finale is going to be a flashback to another Cigarreel video of this season for my last episode of the season 2 finale, and that video is coming up next on Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel season 2 finale. Before we get into that episode, flashback into season 2, I'm smoking a Perdomo 20th anniversary Churchill Maduro. Comment down below on what you're smoking in the comments down below. And now we're going to have our last episode flashback of the season 2 episode and this episode of the season 2 finale, and that video is coming up next on Cigarreel. Good day, y'all. Welcome to Cigarreel. I am Mike. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the 12 very little known facts about cigars on today's episode of Cigarreel. Comment down below on what cigar you're smoking during this video. Comment down below your favorite cigar, and also comment down below if you have a show idea for Cigarreel. And don't forget to hit my Cash App, which is $Cigarreel MM. All donations help. And you can follow me on all social media platforms by hitting Cigarreel on all. I have a friend who gave me a non-label cigar. This is a Robusto. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bullet cut it and show you how to light this cigar, and then hopefully he will tell me what type of cigar this is. But we're going to do this on today's episode of Cigarreel, which I'm going to do a bullet cut that's right here. I'm going to stick it in the top of the cigar, just like that. Okay. Very important. And then you always want to clean your tools when you're done. I have my lighter, which I have a bullet here as well, but I chose to use the standalone bullet. And you want to prime your cigar. So get your flame. You just want to prime the bottom of your cigar like so. When it's primed, you want to take a puff. And then you want to, after you do that, then you want to relight it when it's at your mouth. And there you go. That's how you light a cigar. And when we come back, we're going to do some of the 12 very little known cigar facts on Cigarreel in season 2. When we come back, we're going to jump into the first very little known cigar fact when we come back. This is Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel. This is Mike. I have my cigar lit, and I'm curious to see what type of cigar this is. I won't find out until couple months because he gave me a handful of these, so we'll see what happens. But we're going to jump into the first very little known cigar facts on Cigarreel. This is season 2, and the first one is, before its first airplane flight, Winston Churchill requested the creation of an oxygen mask that would accommodate cigar smoking. Did not know that. The next day, he was puffing away at 15,000 feet over Berlin. They even opened the cabin window so he would flick his ash out. That same day, Reichsführer Heinrich Himmler, while dining at a local outdoor bistro, swears he found the cigar ash in his bratwurst. I didn't know that either. These facts you can check. I didn't check that fact, but there again, it is a fact. And when we come back, we're going to jump into number 2 of the very little known cigar facts. When we come back, this is Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel. I am Mike. Number 2 of the very little known cigar facts. Sigmund Freud, the famous psychiatrist who saw sex in everything, is famous for saying, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Freud was an avid cigar smoker. He also inflated with his male part. You figure that one out. Interesting. And when we come back, we're going to hit number 3 when we come back. This is Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel. I am Mike. We're on number 3 of the very little known cigar facts. Number 3, in 1961, the CIA was ordered to use their Office of Medical Services to place the toxin into Castro cigars, but the plan went haywire. In fact, he commented that he received a box of cigars from the CIA that had notes of leather, almond, that gave him a bad case of the shits, which is diarrhea. I didn't know that either. And if you comment down below, research these facts, because I did not. It's just a list I received from the internet, and I'm going to share these facts with you. They're very little known cigar facts. And when we come back, we're going to tackle number 4 on Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel. I am Mike. Now we're going to jump into number 4 of the very little known cigar facts of season 2 of Cigarreel, and now number 4. Did you ever wonder where cigar bands came from? Queen Catherine the Great of Russia was a cigar smoker. To avoid having the smell on her fingers, she created the use of silk bands on cigars, which she used to hold her cigars. Yet it's reported that she was frequently seen beheading, slumping vodka, and eating stuffed cabbage rolls and using her sleeves as a napkin. That's 4. And when we come back, we're going to hit number 5 of the very little known cigar facts. When we come back, this is Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel Season 2. We're on number 5 of the very little known cigar facts. Number 5, the original native word for tobacco was Cohiba tobacco, was what they called the pipe they smoked out of. The word for smoking was cigar, which Europeans eventually turned into the word cigar, just as the great red fox turned the word marijuana into Latin lettuce. Interesting. And when we come back, we're going to tackle number 6 of the very little known cigar facts. When we come back, this is Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel. This is Mike in Season 2, talking about the very little known cigar facts in this Season 2. And we're at number 6. Bill Clinton celebrated the rescue of a downed American pilot over Bosnia by lighting a Romeo and Juliet cigar. And yes, we all know how he celebrated with cigars when Hillary was out of town. He smokes a Monte Cristo, of course. You thought I was going to tell that awful, outdated joke again, didn't you? About Monica Lewinsky and the Oval Office. I ain't touching that. You can all research it. It happened. So we'll let it be at that. Comment down below if you did do that research. And when we come back, we're going to tackle number 7 of the very little known cigar facts on Cigarreel Season 2 when we come back. This is Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel. I am Mike. We're on number 7 of the very little known cigar facts. Number 7 is 1,000 tobacco seeds can fit inside a tumbler, and yet a banana will not fit in the trunk of a smart car. Go figure. And now we're going to tackle number 8. The best and most experienced Dominican roller can produce at least 200 cigars a day. The bad rollers end up working at the local Walmart. Now we're going to jump into number 9. At the request of his wife, Mark Twain gave up cigars, leading to a long bout of writer's block. Then he resumed smoking his normal 300 cigars a month and wrote a book in 3 months without any distraction. Unfortunately, all the proceeds of the book were used to buy more cigars. In frustration, his wife Bertha Twain ran off with a Latinese immigrant named Moshe, who was the great-grandson, claimed later invented the world-famous stinky ashtray. And when we come back, we're going to hit number 10 of the very little known cigar facts when we come back. This is Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel. I am Mike. We're jumping into number 10 of the very little known cigar facts. Number 10 is General Robert E. Lee delivered orders wrapped around 3 cigars and quickly handed them to his faithful messenger, Private Jake. Now, Jake has always curious to try cigars for the first time, and he peeled off the message, smoked the stogies, and he loved them so much that all he could say is sweet. After the war, he started his own company. The rest is history. Sweet cigar? You ever heard of sweet cigar? Number 11 on the very little known cigar facts. In the early 20th century, the capital of America's cigar market was in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, in these days, the Cuban tobacco had to be shipped by boat to Florida and by train to Cleveland. Not only was this costly, but the time the tobacco arrived, it was dry and had to be regenerated. So to keep the costs and labor down, all the big manufacturers began moving to Miami and Tampa, that where they remain today. Most of number 12, some medical experts believe that smoking as little as 3 cigars per day decreases the sexual drive in a man. A well-known cigar expert would like to point out that the positive aspects of this: a cigar lasts longer than sex, and don't have to cuddle or talk when you're done. That is very interesting, and I agree with that. And when we come back, we're going to have my final thoughts and arguments on Cigarreel when we come back. This is Cigarreel. Welcome back to Cigarreel. I am Mike. We just went over very little known cigar facts. I hit 12 of them in today's episode of Cigarreel. Comment down below if you have any questions or thoughts about those 12. And also don't forget to hit my Cash App, which is $Cigarreel. Every donation helps out the Cigarreel family. And all of my social media platforms is at Cigarreel. And I just want to say thank you for watching this episode of Cigarreel. And I will catch you all in the next episode. Welcome back to Cigarreel Season 2 finale. Thanks for watching this episode and a flashback into Season 2 while I'm smoking Perdomo 20th anniversary. Once again, you can follow me on all my social media, which is at Cigarreel. My Cash App is $Cigarreel. Once again, thank you for watching this episode of Cigarreel Season 2 finale, and I'll catch you all in Season 3 premiere next year on Cigarreel. This episode is Cigarreel Season 2 finale, and thanks for watching, and have a great day. This is Cigarreel Season 2 finale.